Blog Talk Radio.
Alice Good, all for you forever. 77. All right, and that was radio play. And in light of our day's heated debate, where 600 kilometers of shrunken coal parts are eating the sun's entire McIntyre like a deflated sky balloon, inferring X-box surgery, optimized procedure, black tumors in the World Economic Forum, driving forth conspiracy theorists and online gamers alike to bite off the chain to silicon banking off the 3 to 5 trillion ceiling at closing hour date, half saving daylight time. The modern consumer requires a break from white collar promoted and lace thermostat controversy or the occasional rumor the neighbor forgot the stove on high testing motionary skills, and that psychiatrist Davis John Smith billing to emancipate the Sherman laws for all liable damage to equal payment of losses recruit. There's a light on reading break at the home plate, the umpire calling safe, and the Koreans working harder at the radioactive Hawaii WMD cause freak weather effect tsunami. Ladies and gentlemen, public poetry in the pit, fake technocracies, the blast of all seasons thought past. Welcome to the show, and this is Razz, and tonight we're going to get back to our usual thing, going through all the poets and the rights. We have my beautiful co-host here, Boo.
Hey. Oh. Good. I'm on mute. I was on mute. Hi. How are you? Sorry,
yeah, I'm snappy. Have my fingers
you don't want to know what I'm doing. Never mind.
For the full power drive.
Good to know. Nice to see you, Razz. I missed you.
Good to hear from you again, too, Boo. Yeah, it's been a hectic time. My stepdad went to the hospital.
We both have a lot of crap going on in our life.
Surgery, and now he's driving the night shifts and the day shifts again for Hertz.
How's your dad doing? Better?
Yeah, he's at work as his regular routine. But, you know, when you go through that kind of pain, it kind of stays with you for a while. It doesn't just let go overnight, even if you find distraction through working class stiff.
Yeah, there ain't much relief for us working class stiff, that's for sure. But anywho.
That checks for you
Archie wasn't the only one I loved in Orville, Demandville. And another caller on the line. Racky.
Am I on the line?
Are you there?
Yeah. Hey, Racky Boo.
Colonel Post
He's there.
Station, Rack.
Mama said knock you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mama's gonna knock you out.
Well, that was Razz, believe it or not.
Cool J, what you with for?
No, that was LL Cool J, man.
Yeah, that's true. The lady lover, right? I was going to say the Latin lover. Wrong dude. What's up, Rack?
Nothing. Just
all right,
chilling.
let's get started, Razz, then, because we got lots to do. We're behind.
And we have one more call in the studio. Hold on a second.
Hey.
Mr. Prophet, good to have you here, sir.
That's it.
Hey, Dave, nice to see you. I was wondering where you were, little stinker. Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I am. I just had a whole bunch of shit on my plate lately, and
I hear you.
I apologize for not being there. I miss you guys.
Oh, it's okay. Hey, real life does happen from time to time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Razz both had a lot of shit going on too. A lot of like life things, they happen from time to time. But we're back on track now, So I appreciate everybody who was supportive. Sometimes like God forbid you take a week off,
Yeah.
Diversion paths into our diversion.
Don't you know you're not allowed to have a day off? You can't. You got to work 24/7. I swear, people think I'm a robot. I'm always working or running somewhere. But anyway, nice to see you, Dave.
It's the West.
Oh, thank you.
We're not like FM, so we just broadcast when we broadcast.
Oh, Roger.
Roger.
We don't give up in the Cosa Nostra anyway. Period. So.
So you all ready tonight for public poetry?
How about we have Dave go first?
Wow. Okay.
Let the Dark Mother read before him.
If you don't mind. I mean.
No, I don't
mind.
Yeah,
sure.
Let's have Dave kick off. All right, let's roll.
Okay.
The list, Dave, or
Huh?
On the list, or you need to drop it?
Boy.
I don't remember seeing it on the board. Yeah.
You hear old Daniel singing.
All right. Okay, so. NYC, so nice song. Great. Wait.
I love the effort, and I love the fact that y'all do it as a tag team. Just sing my name out.
Some chatter there in the background.
Am I not hearing something, or are you guys being quiet?
Yeah.
For the show? Yeah. We'll just have that off post.
Dave, you got the microphone, dude.
Yeah, I know. I don't see it up there though.
Oh.
That's okay. I'll put it up there. Let's see. Hold on.
No. I'll do it for you. Hold on a second. I got it.
Okay.
I was
All
just, wandering around doing my whole blues song that no one listens to. But, right, you want your link, it's there on the board for you, sir. Pristine white, silvers and gray, all those nice schematics.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, well, this is actually written about the mountain that's right across the street from me. I can't get away from them up here where I live, so that's fine. I flew a hang glider off this mountain several years ago. It's a pretty tall one, and there wasn't much going on. There wasn't any thermal activity, so I just had a nice sled ride down to the ground. But anyway, I get a chance to look at this thing every single time I sit in my office chair, and I call it pristine white, silvers, and gray. It sounds like this. Wildcat Mountain's face in those winter days. Wind-swept snow blows from her mane so gray. Long time beautiful in her graceful age of years. I saw her advice through smiles and tears. My question to you, dear reader, how to recapture this lost leader? Her winter face to my eyes greeting, such wintertime grace so fleeting. She reads my soul so well, such things I'll never tell. A man who talks to mountains, white, silver, gray, her fountains. Run down her face all those tears, for sale by the season's auctioneers, comforted so gently by the forest queen, warm up drafts her flanks of emerald green, lifting those flying machines of aluminum and Dacron above her flanks that I have gone. Only a handful of men have flown her in those days before that were, and in those days, who would have thought I live in a place the gods of wind has wrought right across the 26 from her evergreen countenance. My everyday glimpse of Nirvana at a glance, for I have photographed her 100 times, and in all of that, her smile to me sublimes into the dreams of tomorrow, losing her in whirling silver sorrow. End poem.
Oh, yeah, that was just terrific. It was definitely one of the worst butcheries of human language I've ever heard. No, I'm just kidding you, son. It was a work of genius, right. Yes, and you combined all kinds of thoughts here. I saw that you had the bio note on how you thought about the nun, but it was a little deeper than that, where you have historically there's the monasteries within Western Europe and the cathedrals are still beautiful places to find on a tourist attraction map and just get lost in within that religious iconography and how long it's been here for hundreds of years. Thank you, sir. Back.
Thank you.
Man, you did a beautiful job with that, Dave. You make me want to go skiing, or at least snowboarding. You know.
Well,
I can't imagine. I can't
There's
imagine.
too many trees on that mountain to go skiing.
Yeah. I can't imagine having such beauty, you know, like surrounding me, especially now with my eyes. You know, that would make it even more upsetting, you know, to have known something like that and then have it taken away. That sounds really serene and gorgeous and inviting. Normally, you know, people wrap their minds around a mountain, aside from, you know, the size of it, that they usually describe it as being kind of lonely and cold. But you took the cold and you made it inviting in the sense of, you know, the winds and the hair and the personification. You did a fantastic job with it. It really was great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
St. Barcelonaville. Yeah, and it reminded me of a lost 90s gem that I used to obsess over when I was a kid, although it was only popular over that one single Runaway. Remember the Blues Travelers, that album 4?
Yeah.
There was a track there called The Mountains Win Again. And when you played that one, it was like, wait, are you kidding me? There's no way a man can actually achieve as much as a mountain. You know, it had that little twist of irony within the lemon slice. She off, Net? On mute.
She's on the. She's still on the chairlift.
Oh, we have to get her off bail. Yeah.
Sorry, that might help you get me off the phone. My phone hung up. Don't know what happened. But to me, Dave, this is like a love letter to the mountain because this, which may be actually, you know, a metaphor for something or someone else, because it's the last couple lines. Well, the whole thing is beautiful, but the last couple lines are romantic as heck. I mean, and then you put the chick's picture there. That looks so creepy and cool. I mean, this deserves a front page, in my opinion. Razz gonna nominate this one, but I have let's see, 100 times if I'm all her smile to me sublimes into the dreams of tomorrow, losing her in whirling silver sorrow. That's a badass line right there. So good. And it's like I hate to be weird, but it's like you're making love to the mountain, I swear. And I think this is all about a mountain. Am I right?
Yeah.
You know?
I guess you could say that, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You're making mountains out of mold.
Green, minty.
I mean, and then there's the picture of the lady there, too, up there, so it's almost like, it's a metaphor for something much deeper, I think. How to recapture a lost leader, the winter's face, my eyes greeting, such winter grace so fleeting. Somebody you lost, maybe somebody you loved and lost, and how this reminds you of them. And I love the picture. Did you blend that yourself? That looks really cool.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I love doing that too.
That mountain behind her is Wildcat Mountain. And I just stuck her in there to drill.
I'm surprised you didn't put it. Well, I guess it goes with the poem because it's silver and gray, but usually you prefer brunettes, I've noticed.
Yeah, I do.
No, the brunette prefers him.
Yeah, he likes the dark hair, raven hair kind of gal, kind of like that raw sexuality and animalistic. I mean, that's what I see from what I see from the poem. But anyway, it's another show. So, but I think this is really, really good. Good writing. And you know what else? I think that you're getting better every time I read something, honestly. I'm not just saying that to blow smoke. I really see that. So, good job.
Oh, thanks, Boo. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. I go for nurses from the World War II period.
Is that your fetish,
when it
Razz?
comes to brunettes? Yeah. All right, we have another caller in the studio. Let's bring them in.
Hello.
Hello.
Uh-oh. That sounds familiar.
Hey, Linda, what's up?
Not much.
Nice to see you, my friend.
I'm good, yeah. Yeah, I tried to call in last week, but there was no show.
No, we had we had a little personal.
We've been a little bit off lately, Linda. We apologize for that.
Oh,
yeah.
Boo and I had personal issues.
Well, I've missed you.
That we couldn't broadcast. Yeah.
Yeah, we missed you
right
too.
On.
We apologize for the flakiness. You know, so. Yeah, and you guys are always supportive, and sometimes life unfortunately comes up, but I try to get out of it because I can't. But thanks for supporting, being patient, being awesome, all of you. Appreciated. Right, everybody and we owe you an apology as well for things, and so I'm sorry about that. We love you so, and I appreciate it, and you're awesome friends, so I just want to say that. All of you here are awesome friends.
We love you.
Because my year is almost up, believe it or not.
And
I wouldn't dare go back there and give that fucker $1 of my money. So, we're just going to have to do it this way. But, anywho, so I guess we'll move on.
Yeah.
There's not anything in America that's not about taking your money, Boo.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have Linda and then Rack go. Then we'll go with Titus.
Rack's still here.
Razz?
Yeah.
Linda, you want to drop yours? Not sure.
Who do you want next? In order of callers?
Yeah, I was
Liquid, are you ready to do your
poem.
piece?
What'd you say, Linda?
I was going to comment on David's poem.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you heard it. Yeah, okay. Isn't it beautiful?
Green Lady,
I do, or am I just tripping?
What an intense experience that must have been. But what a lovely tribute to this mountain. And I really like that you gave it a face of beauty and a bright personality. And this verse here And in those days, who would have thought I live in a place the god of winds has wrought, right across the 26 from her evergreen continents, my everyday glimpse of nirvana at a glance. What a lovely, lovely verse. I mean, you're talking about this mountain like he was your best friend, and that's cool. To witness her beauty at 2,000 feet must have been awesome, David. I mean,
it was.
Not many people.
Yeah, it was.
Where the wild things
flying.
You must have.
Flying over the top of
sights that are in your heart forever from that experience, you know?
Yeah.
I just think it was a really cool poem. I mean, you did a really good job writing it, and I like the rhyme scheme that you did, and it flowed really nicely. It was a beautiful poem. You're welcome.
Thanks.
Nominated, Dave.
Yeah, it's writing that mountain humpback. It was a wonderful job, Dave. So, Liquid,
thank you, Raz.
Would you like to do the next piece?
Yeah.
At the recital?
Yeah, I could go next.
Rack, do you want anything in particular, or?
I don't know. If you want an audio, grab something. I nothing specific.
Or do you want a new one? Okay, I will surprise you.
Well, the new ones need a reader, so.
Okay, however you want it to go. Okay, let me know.
All right, and this is Echoes in Gray, another touch of gray here on the program sheet. So
I don't see it.
It's right there in a second on the board for Liquid to recite.
Let me refresh again.
Yeah.
No, I see. Wait a minute. There we go. I see it.
Okay.
Echoes in Gray, narcolepsy. As I light from my linen sheets, I stare into charcoal shadows that are there. To awake is a joy I don't receive. I'm feeling the gray echo over me. In this world of sleep, I feel alone, standing here with madness in my bones. I can't shake this pity that I feel, 'cause to stay awake is never there for real. My eyes yet open, I'm living in a mist. Between awake and sleep, I coexist. I'm outlined by chalk so easily blown away. Will I awake to plan things for today? Sometimes I'll fade when you talk to me. I'm just awake to a degree. I know this must be hard on you, but you really don't have a clue. A vibration of myself invisible, feeling like I'm trudging in marshmallow. Through the gunmetal sludge I walk, trying hard not to smear the chalk. There is no reason, there is no rhyme that keeps me awake when it's time. The onyx wind blows over thee, feeling gray echo over me. N, never knowing when sleep comes. A, always being careful not to fall. R, rarely getting enough sleep. C, colorful ways to cover up sleep wounds. O, occasionally I get hurt. L, loving myself anyway. E, everyone laughs when I sleep, talk, and walk. P, personal triggers that set it off. S, someone to watch over me. Y, years of explaining to people while I'm asleep at parties, concerts, and the market. And I just want to say after 53 years, I was re-diagnosed with IHS, which is a rare brain condition that has the electrode part of the brain that shoots the electronic pulse that tells you that it's time to wake up and it's time to stay awake. Mine doesn't work, and they don't know why, and it's incurable, but it's just like narcolepsy, same medication, same all the deals are the same. It's just called a different name. So yeah.
I didn't hear you. What did you say? Yeah, it was. Sorry, my phone.
IHS.
It's called IHS. It's idiopathic hypersomnia
Yeah, that's the opposite effect of insomnia, hypersomnia, where you can't control yourself from falling asleep. I'm sorry to hear your condition, Liquid.
Thank you very much.
Tell your brain's
those darn electro neurons that shoot through our brains, who can be in complete control. It's not really anyone's fault how brain chemistry just kind of alters and varies.
Well, so many people have so many of the similar situations and symptoms, and many don't even know. So the fact that you found it says a lot, and that's a good thing, Right.
Well, I did another sleep study this past month, and it was a 2-day study with electrodes hooked to my brain, and a really good doctor that said it's really rare. It's hard to diagnose IHS, but they did it, finally after 53 years of thinking I had narcolepsy. Now it's just
doesn't
another
it feel good to know, like fuck, you have something tangible, Now you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's a great doctor.
He's really cool too. Yeah.
Who actually gave a fuck?
Yeah.
This piece was very personal. I found it an exceptional work.
Thank you, Razz.
Razz, what would you like to add to the feedback?
Well, it certainly didn't put me to sleep. I really, it's a hard thing to talk about when it's so so real. A lot of us make up things or talk about insanity in a way that we flirt with it, but we don't actually experience it. And this is your life you're talking about. So it comes from a different perspective, and it's really cool to hear about what you go through, because like you said, we have an idea. I mean, we understand the words and the thoughts, but it's a different thing to live it entirely. So it's got to be crazy to be like hello, are you sleeping? Well, actually, yes, I was. It's like, seriously? And yeah, seriously.
Right.
And then it's like you try not to be unkind about it or anything, but sometimes the only way you can even deal with it is to crack a joke about it. Pay your brain's electric bill. I mean, it's got to be rough. I can't.
Right.
I can't.
Yeah. And then people.
Well, like my husband says, the only time I'm awake is when I'm doing my poetry. So it's got to do with, is my brain stimulated enough to stay awake?
Yeah.
So when I'm on the air, because other times, I mean, when I'm not doing poetry or on a show, I'm sleeping. The minute the TV comes on and I sit there, I'm asleep, and I wake up intermittently through the day to either get something to eat or use the restroom, but then I'm back to sleep. So unless I take my medication, which keeps me awake, which I do on Sundays, so I'm awake for your show and church.
What meds they have?
I'm
what
the
med do you have?
opposite extreme. I can't stay asleep very long.
What's that?
No matter
what
how many pills.
I'm on dexamphetamine, which is basically Adderall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you only take it on Sunday? That's pretty good, pretty impressive.
No, I take it, I take it when I have to go someplace or if I have something to do. I take it on Sundays because of church. I hate falling asleep in church. So I take a double dose on Sunday, which I'm allowed to do. And then, like, maybe 2-3 times during the week I'll take it.
If you got to get shit done, that makes sense. Yeah.
Right.
And, all this time people, maybe they thought, like, you were just being rude or you were always, whatever.
Exactly.
And now like, the same thing.
Oh, she's a drunk. She's drunk. She must be drunk.
Right. Right.
You probably heard it all, really. She's a drunk.
I
got in trouble in the market once for falling asleep with the baby in the basket, and that was a big drag. The manager came in and they were going to call an ambulance. And
props to your husband for sticking through and supporting you too.
Oh yeah, he's a big support. Yeah, he puts up with my dozing and he wakes me up. Like when I'm trying to sit here in the morning to do something on my phone and I'm falling asleep, he like every 5 minutes goes, "Wake up." And
Not in.
Of the healing power of poetry.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
There's definitely a philosophical question there in both of our states, Liquid. Which one of us is really perceiving reality? I myself, who has a sleeping disorder in which I don't sleep and I'm constantly awake to this world, or you, in which you're always asleep, and so that place that we call dreams might be our true reality.
Right.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Oh, I dream vivid dreams. So vivid.
Lucky you. I don't.
Yeah, but not sometimes because I dream about alligators a lot.
I wonder what that means. I'm going to look that up.
I'm going to
I don't know, but
maybe
I started dreaming about alligators about a year ago, and they come very, very often in my sleep.
Uh-oh.
And they're trying to get me, and I'm trying to get away, and the ground's falling apart underneath me, and I get my foot in their mouth, and it's a drag.
Bummer.
Well, you live in Alaska. That's a strange place to have those kinds of reptiles. Could they be extraterrestrial life forms that are only masquerading as these, reptilian species?
Perhaps. That's a whole nother show. That's funny.
Right.
The lizards are coming.
Well, luckily, we don't have alligators in Alaska, so I don't have to worry about that.
Shoot, we used to have them just roaming around in Florida, right by our pool and everything, all the time. You could hear when they were doing it because they'd always make this really weird sound that I can't.
No. Crocodiles are harmless, even in Florida.
You've got little alligators on your sweaters.
Right?
They're not going to mess with you. If you don't walk up to them and provoke some kind of aggressive measures, then they'll be perfectly at rest and consider you just any other species.
Speaking of which,
that's
did you
okay,
see
Razz. I'll let you be at rest with them. I'll walk the other way.
Razz is always awake. He'll be fine. That reminds me. Did you guys see that dumbass for real? I forget what state this is in, but they had a pet snake, right? And they just had a baby, and they actually let the snake got out or something like that and wrapped itself around the baby. Like, come on, what the hell is wrong with you people? Why would you have?
Oh, I heard about that.
It's fucked up. You should. What the hell?
Yeah.
Hello, common sense 101, you jackasses. Come on.
Right. Well, you don't have animals like that when you have a newborn baby in the house.
Oh no! And imagine the dad was there trying to get him out. Oh my God, that's terrible.
Right.
At the pet shop, they basically ask
still there?
when you go
comment on this piece.
My story. Where do you work? Well, they were asking me this shit. I was trying to get a cat. What hours do you work? Where do you work? Do you have a backyard? Are you going to take him out? What the fuck? Are you taking? What are you writing a novel? What the hell? I just want the cat. It was like ridiculous. Anyways.
They wanted to make sure you were going to give the cat a good home.
Yes, I was. It was my other kitties, but ridiculous. It was like a fucking interrogation. I was like, you know what, dude? Never mind. I don't even want it then. Never mind. He's like, forget. He's like, hey, come back. I go, shit's been 3 hours. I want the cat. I got a job. Here's the money. What more do you need to know?
No shit.
Are you fit enough to be a parent of a pet? Well, I have a real kid. Does that matter? I mean, it's stupid.
Well, do you clean out her litter box?
She's still alive, so
no,
must be doing pretty
good. And they're animal life forms, but they might be possessed by extraterrestrial beings.
He's like, well, where do you work? What shifts do you work? What hours do you work? I go, what are you writing a fucking book with Stalker? What the fuck? I don't know. It's weird. Anyhow.
David.
Did Dave comment? I don't think Dave. Did Dave comment on Linda? I don't think. I think
we need to hear
Sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I really like this, Linda. I don't know the difference between all of these sleep disorders. Is narcolepsy when you walk in your sleep, or what?
No, narcolepsy is narcolepsy with cataplexy, which is what I had. Well, they thought I had, is when you just fall asleep. You could be doing anything and fall asleep. And IHS is the same monster. It's just that my brain can't tell my body it's time to. That part of my brain's broken, so it doesn't tell it doesn't tell the rest of my body that it's time to wake up. So I'm always in sleep mode.
Well, thanks for this, because this is a really informative poem, and the rhyme and meter on it is perfect. As usual, you're always good with that. It's a good storyline, too. I like the last verse, last part of it, and it explains things really pretty well about this disease. And sometimes I have a problem getting to sleep, and the only way to get around it is just to get up and do something, so that's what I do. That's why you'll see on my poems sometimes down on the bottom by my signature, it'll say when it was written like 4:30 a.m. or something, you know.
Yeah, a lot of your poems say that. I noticed that.
Yeah.
Mine does.
I don't know. It's just the way I am, and yeah, it's a good poem, Linda. Really good. I really liked it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think
right.
I think Rack gotta go.
We got it all down packed now.
Drop the link for those Romans and countrymen. That's good.
It's Rack is up.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rack. Did you comment, Rack? Well, I was just going to say that I guess that leaves me, so I'll make it quick and shut the hell up. But I think that, you know, like I said before, props to your doctor and to your husband, you know, for all that. And all those years you thought something was wrong with you. I hate that shit when they give you the wrong diagnosis, you know, and then you're just thinking it's something else. And now you know it's finally, you know, now, you know, and all that time you just wonder, you know, but I'm glad that you finally got a definitive diagnosis, something tangible. That's good.
Right.
You know, sometimes I don't want to, you know, and your doctor, you know, people don't like to do sleep studies because they don't want to sit there, you know, but it's worth it to go through with it. My dad finally gave in and went to one, and they finally fixed his problem, but that was, so anyway, I like the poem because you explain it, you explain what it is, and you educate us, too, so, and your rhyme always on point, you know, you're the rhyme queen, so, yeah, good for you. I hope that now you get some kind of peace, I don't know, you know. Good job.
Well, I wrote that piece so it would bring it out to people to understand if they see somebody people used to think I was nodding from drugs. And that's where the problem lies with that disease is people think you're a drug addict and treat you as such, and it sucks.
Yeah,
you know,
it sucks.
I've had Yeah.
Well, some of the symptoms that you described sound like being stoned, so you know that there are parallels.
Oh
to
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people are just so quick to jump on that shit too. You know, she must automatically she's on drugs. You know, they don't want to know anything about the story or her at all. They're just, you know, pricks assuming shit.
Judging book by its cover. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so just because I have an 8-ball in my pocket doesn't mean that I'm just kidding.
No,
I see
Lady
Blade and Anonymous.
Jokes.
I see Blade, Anonymous, and Jenny on the board. Hey guys, I think Jenny has a poem. Blade too. Blade might call, but so yeah, let's do Rack.
Jenny.
Drop the link for There's Still Romans and Countrymen. That one's pretty good.
Okay. I wonder where Francine is. I'm gonna have to go stalk her in a minute.
Sounds like it's Blind, a historical quote. Countrymen are still in the Romans.
Okay, so let me go to get. Did I say hi to Blade? Yeah, I did. Okay, so let me go get yours, right? You know, while I'm getting this, there's this chick at my work, right? And she says to me one day, so-and-so is an alcoholic. This goes to your story a little bit, Linda. She says, I go, really? How do you know that? Did you actually see her put the bottle to her mouth? No. Well, then you should probably shut the hell up, because now you're causing rumors about the chick. You're going to ruin her reputation. She worked hard for her license. You know, that's messed up. And so she was like, oh, yeah, so I just hate when people do that. That's my point. What's it called, Rack?
You should hear my conscious brew when I go for the Grim Beam the one time a year. I just go on feeling guilty that I might be a drunk.
Shit, you've only seen you drink a couple times since I've known you. That's nothing. All right, here we go. Oh, there's a lot of people on the board now. That's good. Okay, there you go. So, Dave, would you read this for Rack, please?
Yeah, well, I would love to. Okay, here we go. There's still Romans and countrymen. When your eyes are ready to tear and you're in need of a friend, you will always have my ear, gently comforting you till you mend. Moments meld into memories, chatting with no concept of time, till you find your soul at ease, causing the unknown to unwind. Having found your smile and vanquished your distress, you can dream about me for a while as you wrestle with feelings you can't suppress. Even though my arms remain empty, my heart swells with hope. Then I watch as you forget me, and now I'm the one struggling to cope. End poem. Wow. That's amazing.
Oh. What do
really
you think,
good.
Dave?
Oh, I thought it was great. It bounces you back and forth a little bit, and it shakes you up enough to the point where it holds your attention very aptly all the way through. I like the way it was written. It's interesting. It's got a cool rhyme scheme to it as well. Anyway, it was a real good job, Rack. Really good.
Thanks, Dave.
You bet.
Next round.
Yeah, this is really cool. I liked the kind of duality that it had in it in the beginning. You're the one being helpful to somebody, to your friend, and lending your ear and being a comfort. And then at the end, you're the one getting kind of dumped on, and like it says, and now I'm the one struggling to cope. It's kind of an interesting format. The rhyme scheme is really cool. I think you did a good job, and I think it was really well written. And the part I think I liked the best was having found your smile and vanquished your distress. You can dream about me for a while as you wrestle with feelings you can't suppress. That is just really well written, and I liked it a lot, Rack. I think you did a great job.
Thanks, Linda.
You're very welcome.
All right, and my turn. That was the
Hey,
greatest
Blade's
thing
here.
I ever
Welcome,
heard.
Blade, real quick.
That
before
someone has your back, but then they never have your back, and it just pisses people off. But that's me on an emotional level, what I heard. Otherwise, this is a very cleverly written poem, Rack. And we've all been there, ups and downs. We lay our hearts out for people who just don't seem to be as equally reciprocal. And when you bring up these kinds of life relationships, and it's so much more vivid than the hundreds of millions of the demographics that one can see essentially there's much to discuss on our relationships that realistically society just kind of tends to neglect and ignore, but you're here showing yet an example of so many lives and how you have the one person thinking about you and if I was in the opposite case, it would seem like I like you're saying, and that does make it all seem all the more hopeless if we can't be on agreement that we're trying to work on each other's behalf. Thank you, sir.
Wait, Raz, before you say anything, can you say hi to Blade here? Hey. Hello, Blade.
Hi, Blade.
I believe she's here. Hey, there we go. Sorry about that. I wasn't by the computer. I'm sure. Welcome. Okay. So I think Linda needs a comment, right, on Rack's poem?
No, Linda comment. You're the only one left, Boo.
Oh, who? Okay, unless Blade heard it, but she probably didn't.
I did hear it. You did hear it? I did.
Cool. All right. What did you think then of Rack's lovely?
I love the rhyme scheme. It's very well put together. The added touch of not having punctuation or any capitalized letters, that just kind of, it flows smoother almost. It's a subtle touch, but it is powerful. I love the line, moments melt into memories, chatting with no concept of time. And I love the push and pull of, being that friend to cry on and, wanting more, but knowing that
Thanks, Blade. I gotcha.
Yeah, it makes me a little bit melancholic, Rack, that someone should care for real life. Someone has to have your back in this piece. I have yours, Rack.
Yeah, me too, Rack. Everybody needs a friend, at least one, and if you're lucky to have one that's good, you're lucky, and because when you say, we'll always have my ear, like you're the best listener ever. I know that you listen to everybody's problems, and you never complain about your own problems, and you listen to my drama daily. So that's easy, and then, everybody else, and then, what about you? You give and give and give, and who's got you, And these are not the kind of people you want to surround yourselves with. And you remain empty. My heart swells with hope. Then I watch as you forget me, and now I'm the one struggling to cope. Oh, it's so sad. The last sentence is really sad. It's almost like people use you, just use you until and then they just leave you hanging there alone. I hate those types. Well, no, I would never do that to you, Rack. That's a shitty friend right there and a shitty person. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's really, yeah. But, we all know these types, People talk a lot of shit. They're going to be there, but when shit hits the fan, look who's around. Not many, So, good job, Rack. This is in the Hurt Locker, I take it.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that folder.
The thing of it is, people have different ideas of what it means to be a friend, and that's where the confusion comes in. Some people of course I care, and then they don't bother to show it. But they have different ideas of what it means to be a friend. So it turns into that mess, and that's kind of what I was talking about.
Yeah, no, that's so right. That's so true. You're right.
And then see where it comes from there.
Mhm. Yeah, good job, Racky Poo. You made my heart hurt. So
you have to make a movie on that, The Hurt Locker.
Because she has her kids and stuff. So, would you like to go, Blade?
All right.
Are you there, Blade?
Blade? For Mars?
That's weird. I see her on hold.
Who, you're in control of letting more callers in.
Oh, I got the board. It's fine. I got her on there. Maybe her kids needed her.
It's
she's
cut
there.
off. Yeah.
She's there. So.
Point.
Okay. Well, we'll see if she comes back. How about if we do Pee-wee? I don't think she's going to call. I haven't convinced her yet.
Yeah.
But.
Was she 218?
I dropped. I think maybe Blade dropped. But she's still open. So maybe she'll call back. Anyways, so Pee-wee.
You said Anonymous was on the board, and who else?
Here we go. Okay. So, Linda, would you mind reading for Pee-wee?
No, I wouldn't mind.
You there, Linda?
Is it on the board yet?
Oh, she said, "Bring me back. My call dropped." Oh, let's see. I guess I got to refresh.
Unmute Blade. Is she still there?
Right. All right. I'm going to bring her back in a second. Okay.
All right.
No.
Wait, but before you do Pee-wee with Liquid, I want to get one of these artists out of the way from our folder because they've been waiting for a while. And so, without further ado, this is our infamous radio play writer. What am I doing here? All right, hold on a second. All right.
But let Blade go because she's got, her kid right there, right?
I do not
Blade
have
doesn't
any
show
kids
back
right
up in the studio. Is she there yet?
Oh. I'm here.
Hi.
All right, she came back.
Hi.
I was going to do Lauren 67.
Call dropped.
And then we'll do Pee-wee after Blade. All right, so I got your link for you, Mrs. Mars. I'm going to put it there on the board.
I think I already read that one. I wanted to know if I could read a different one.
Suspended Orbit? You have a different one in mind?
Suspended Orbit is the one I wanted to read.
All right, that's on the board.
Chewing gum, right?
All right. Suspended Orbit. Stained in darkness, I find myself suspended, reaching for the moments between my dreams. Fingers loose, detached persona, faceless identity of the man in the moon. I interpret the musings of my mind, let mysteries flow without concrete answers because there is so much more freedom when one lets the boundaries fade. Still, I am constrained to the edges of my thoughts. Flowing water paused, droplets dancing in the vacuum of space, alone in the shadows, reaching for the moments between illusory dreams. I cannot see the timeline, but Luna illuminates the fragments of my soul, beginnings and endings, suspended in the darkness of me. Elcome.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, and definitely. This is reminding me of when you can't find that perfect balance with yourself and this chaotic world, which sends constant mixed signals. And so it's like you're the one in orbit in outer space, and all physical phenomenon is existing within its own capacity that is leaving the individual so separate. They may as well be engulfed by the darkness there in those abysmal regions. And I think sometimes what you have here is a sense of self-enlightenment. It doesn't require illumination, because this darkness you speak of at the ending of the piece sounds almost like self-fulfillment, being one with the universal elements. Thank you, Blade. Rat, what do you think of this piece?
It's very emotional and relatable. I like the idea about the darkness and things like that. It's very descriptive of being in that emotional place where you feel very alone and isolated, and the coldness of space. So it's a lovely metaphor. You adapt it well to your piece, and again, unfortunately relatable. I like things like that. It's kind of, you're talking about the darkness, but you're kind of shining a light on it at the same time. So very well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, so leaves us with a paradox of the greatest darkness is perhaps closest to the light. Dave, are you still there?
Yeah, I am. Well, I really enjoyed this piece. It shows that this lady looks into herself occasionally, if not more often. A lot of people, they just go on. They don't try to look into themselves. They don't try to improve themselves. They just go on from day to day, shovel food into their face, go to the bathroom, and call it a good deal, And this shows a lot of soul searching in an odd sort of way, I would say. I actually exercised a little bit of this piece when I was laying in bed last night because I couldn't go to sleep. And so I just decided that maybe I was, needed to back away from, anything complicated and just roll along on stuff that was easier to deal with. And I really like this. It's got a really fascinating storyline to it. I love the way it's put together, and I like the way you read it too. This is really, really a fine poem, really outstanding. Good job.
Thank you. It was fun to format.
Excellent, Miss Mars. And Liquid, that takes our feedback over to you.
Yeah, Blade, this is beautiful. The vocabulary in here is so eloquent and soothing, and I like anything that has to do with sleep and dreams. Being a person who's got a sleep problem, and I thought it was very courageous writing, fascinating piece, and it kind of has a sense of euphoria about it, but I think the writing itself is outstanding. Your storyline is outstanding. The imagery here is so beautiful and soft, and this piece just gives such a, like I said, a euphoric feeling about it. So I loved it. Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
I like
Linda.
the picture this time. I love the picture.
Linda, I don't think you have a sleep problem at all, Linda. You've got a wake problem.
I got a wake problem. That's true.
I think that the picture she uses there is really cool, but you see how she has it in black, right? She's looking for concrete answers that are definitive, that are tangible, that are something, specific, and she's not getting it. Because there is so much more freedom when there's less boundary, that's the boundary. So if you let go and you let things just be as they are, then there's a freedom in that. But you can't seem to get to that place. You're sort of like hovering in between, in the middle. And I like how you use the word retching. I think that's really cool because you always think of that, gross thing that you do, and you're just sort of like, why doesn't anybody notice you? Why doesn't anybody see you? Why are you faceless? Why are you unimportant? I don't know. That's what I see. And then in the darkness of you are the darkness. So it's very sad, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm right, but yeah, it's really moving for sure, and well written. And you have a beautiful voice for poetry. Always your reads awesome.
Thank you.
Welcome. There's a big loneliness here, I think.
Yeah.
Do we have any other callers in the studio, Boo?
No, but you can do Lawrence first because I didn't know that Pee Wee had a SoundCloud. So I'm going to do that right now. Thank you so much, Blade.
Yeah. My phone is gonna die, so I gotta hop off. But
hey, come back anytime.
You
nice
guys.
It's great for you to stop by, Miss Mars.
Yeah, we love you and your
next week.
Okay. So this next piece is Lawrence 67 in foul language. The Adventures of Nigel the Fat Cat and his homie Alfie in foul language. Nigel. Son of a bitch. God damn it. Fuck this asshole white. Alfie. Hey, Nigel, what you doing? Oh, hi, Alfie. I'm just practicing my foul language. Alfie. Why? Nigel. Well, my good friend Liquid Damage, a.k.a. Linda, says she wants to be naughty on her show, so I was just practicing to get some good cuss words out. You know what I mean? Alfie. Hey, Nigel, can I try, please? Nigel. All right, Alfie. Go for it. Cuss your ass off. Alfie. All right. Son of a biscuit, dookie face, cocker eater, pumpkin eater. How's that, Nigel? Nigel. Well, Alfie, that was definitely some foul stuff coming out of your mouth for sure, but I don't know if they're going to go for those 4-letter words and mother-sucking poem and peace.
That was funny. Good read.
Well, you know what happened was because on my show on A Team of Voices, I didn't know that
PG-13.
I didn't know what his poem was, and Deb called me and said that we couldn't use it because it was full of foul language. So Lawrence didn't come on the show, which is respectfully, fine. But when I read the poem, I laughed so hard I couldn't believe it. This is so funny and so perfect. And because I said, wait till I have my La Cosa Nostra show and you can cuss all you want. So there it goes.
Yeah, we're no rating. MPG. No PG. But yeah, Lawrence definitely put out another number. He and Nigel in the lead of that little toy train motor engine straight off the lane. Rack, what do you say to this?
I think Nigel has to get together with the guy that was adopting the cat for Diana, for Boo.
That's funny, man. It's almost like you were made to read the shit, too. I swear to God, it's so good. Yeah. You just, embody it. And he told me before he loves when you read it. It's just funny.
I was waiting for him to make a joke about birds, foul language. I thought he was going to go quack, 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 quack or something. But he went the other way. He gave you the 4-letter variety, which works just as well. Always keep him guessing.
Yeah, awesome job, Lawrence.
Lawrence, the kind of dude you just want to hang out with and have a drink and just smoke a joint or something,
Well, I told him he can come be naughty on my show on La Cosa Nostra, and so he was naughty.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, we like naughty over here.
Right.
We have low standards.
Naughty by unanimous vote.
The owners are perfect.
No standards. That's funny.
Nobody does naughty better than Boo.
You gotta have fun somewhere.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you want to use yours? Do yours, Razz, real quick? Because I'm still doing hers. It's my computer having a situation, but I'll be done when you're done.
Yeah, but we have a couple of other rights, so before going on to mine for the night,
okay.
Liquid, could you be a reader for Garden Delight?
Sure.
All right, she's on the board. Society's a humbug.
I got it.
Machine.
Okay. This is Civilization is a Nuisance, Society a Humbug, and Conventionality a Crime by Garden Delights. Let the ocean swallow the sun as it gathers the flecks of gold it left to flicker and die. Let the seabirds follow the light and abandon the coming night, for they cannot bring you back. Let the rabid sky burn ochre and flare fiery orange, until it has no life within, and is spent and hopeless as I. Let the world suffer, for you are not here to bring life. Why should it live? Passing the time you are here, why should any of us? If it would help, I would drag all of creation to shoal with me, to rescue you and bring you back to the land of the living. Sadly, this cannot be. Oh, go follow the sun, all of you who are of no help. Leave me here to ponder and pray for the answers I do not possess today. In poem.
Yeah, that was an eye-opener. What you have is post and pre-enlightenment. The soul is really its own center of the universe, and we exist on a planet on a much lower level. And so it seems that you even have the Chinese Lazo, the Greeks Erasmus, all looking at this astral phenomenon as a central source of wisdom, and which is exhibited here by criticizing society, how it is not learning to be any all the more wiser. Thank you for that wonderful read, Liquid Damage. What do you think of this piece by Garden Delights?
I thought it was really cool. It was kind of sad, though. Kind of like there was no hope, but there's always hope, no matter what. So underneath this, it's there, but in the front, kind of like it says here, let the world suffer, for you are not here to bring life. Why should it live? Passing the time you are here. Why should any of us? It's kind of sad in a way, but I liked it because it was really well written, and the concept was very cool. Even though it talks of the burning the earth and stuff like that, I think that it was a cool story, and it had a lot of imagination in it, and the imagery was just outstanding. I don't know of another word to use. It was just really outstanding. But yeah, it was just a little sad, and that's cool though. But good write. Thank you, Garden Delights.
Yeah, I was negatively interpreted once to be Cornelius Cornfed, and I know all about those alien removals and ear probes. But Razz, what do you see on this?
I think this is a beautiful write. I love her descriptions of the passage of time sun, and I'm paraphrasing, but the ocean eating the sun, as it were. However she worded it was absolutely stunning. And I'm not doing it justice trying to repeat it, but that imagery was absolutely great and stunning, and very, very memorable to the idea of, again, the passage of time, which the whole piece was to me kind of hinting at how destructive it is. Time marches on, time doesn't care, and it's just going forward and leaving us behind in the dust. And it's almost got a why bother feel to it for me. Because it's the day's going to go on, and why am I even trying to go forward? It's just going to pass us by. I don't know. It felt very hopeless and dark.
Yeah, so she's painting the sun to almost be black in the world. This is like what you have at the end of an ancient civilized world that's more or less found its own self-destruction. I would agree with you there. There's that overtone, but there's so many different ways of looking at it. It's the same wording, which is why artwork fascinates and just continues to stimulate thought, even when it comes to other mediums like canvas paintings. David, what do you say of this?
Well, to me, I look at it through a sort of a scientific lens sometimes. This is a really classy way of describing entropy, and entropy is the tendency of an ordered system to go into chaos, and that's sort of what this sounds like in a little bit. It also sounds like somebody that's just fed up with everything that's going on. And I think we all feel this way sometimes. We just want to say, to hell with the whole world and just, and let it all go to hell in a handcart. But I agree with a lot of the other folks that have commented on this poem. It's really well written. It's very descriptive. It's picturesque. I like this third to last stanza. If it would help, I would drag all of creation to Sheol with me to rescue you and bring you back to the land of the living. Sadly, this cannot be. I thought this was really cool. I enjoyed it a lot. And this lady definitely had her thinking cap on when she wrote this. So, well done.
Definitely. Yeah, I like that look at it all, where you have that resentment of the world being overly negative until you feel negative. Yeah, I can see that there. Boo. Are you going to comment on Garden Light?
I mean, I don't mean this to be rude. Shoot, you know what? Anyway, it's kind of like a poetic F you, like F the world, because let the world suffer. You're not here to bring life. Why should it live? I mean, why should any of us? She's like at the wit's end right here. She's had it. Let the ocean swallow the sun. Fuck it. I don't care. It only has gold. Let it die. Let it flicker away. It doesn't shine bright anywho. And so, drag all creation to steal with me. Like, she's just done. Yeah, I never seen her write something like this, actually. So that's, she writes very beautiful, colorful, fluffy type things, but this is something different for her. I love the picture, too. The picture is really cool. So, yeah, I like to see this because something new, different. Good job. I hope Pee-wee doesn't kill me, but I'm having a problem with this stupid converter thing. So I'm working on it still. I guess.
All right.
We
have a couple of other pieces.
Let's do Titus.
Until then. Yeah.
Let's do Titus.
So you want Titus next?
Yeah. So that way he doesn't have to go in the last bit of the show. Yeah, I'm sorry, Pee-wee. Right. I'm trying. The thing is just being a dick. But I'll get there.
Two poets share with words?
Yeah. Today's 3:26. Okay. Yes.
One and one is two.
It's called Titus paired with words. Titus paired with words. Yeah. Okay. Tell me when you're ready.
Links on the board. Boo.
Two poets paired with words. What's love to have me place the whats and whys, to have her eyes diverted, no surprise, to have me place my hands, our bodies wise, our nipples so delightfully connect, upon that semi-stage of thoughts erect, sticks out his neck with what-ifs I detect. A waiting game has finished what was meant, to have indulged upon me with intent. A massive game was this upon our sides. There's nothing more inviting, open wide the mind of any woman who would have dared a test against. To have our interests shared, 'tis not to have our meal too late, then drink. I not sit down to write, now let me think.
Yeah, great sound production. I'm wondering, does Titus do that all by himself? Make the background music? That was sweet jazz. You had a snappy beat there, accompanied by some nice form of writing. This is romanticism in its modern sense, where if a man and a woman get together, then the rest is surely to follow. Rack, what do you say to this by Titus Ewan?
I got carried away with that music in the background. I was imagining Titus actually playing the guitar himself.
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah, I mean it was nice. It was nice. I really like stuff like that. But it goes well with his style of writing too. I think because he has that. I don't know. I want to keep comparing him to a bard, the from the olden days, but that certainly wasn't a lute. So I really appreciate it though. His rhyme and his storytelling. It's a style of its own, really. He's very unique on old poetry, and I can imagine it in a book. I think he's actually working on doing something like that, putting stuff like that into a book. So, I look forward to when it comes published, and hopefully I could find it on audio somewhere. I really enjoyed it, Titus. That was lovely.
Excellent. Liquid, would you like to comment on this by Titus Ewan?
Sure, this was lovely. I loved the music in it. It made it so unique, and it brought out the body of the poem itself. It was like a small interlude between the poem and the music, but I thought this was very passionate and inviting. It was like sexy in a way, but not overly done. It was classy. But, I thought it was really cute. And I love the ending. And not to sit down to write, now let me think. That's just so cute. At the end of the day, after dinner, what do you think? But Titus always fascinates me with this work. It's just so real and not synthetic. He's got a way with his words that very few poets have. But Titus, I loved it, and the music you chose was perfect for it. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, it has a backbeat. You can use it. Definitely. David, what do you see of this by Titus?
Well, this was kind of like a daydream to me. I mean, the way he read it and stuff, and the music in the background, kind of like what I would think if I was stoned sometimes. I
thought it was just me, Dave.
No, I love this. I thought it was fun. It was entertaining. It was sexy. It was something that you could do with your lady friend, and everything would be just hunky-dory. She'd like it. You'd like it. We all like it. And I thought this was an interesting poem. I really did. And, of course, most of his stuff is interesting. It's never boring. And I like the way he reads. Everybody does. So, anyway, well done. Well done.
Yay!
2020 vision.
Dave, it's about being with a woman, Dave. So, yeah, I guess it was a daydream for us.
Yeah, for me especially.
Hey, I'm growing cobwebs over here.
My dog usually doesn't come with Lauren 12.
Definitely no eHarmony women in this one.
No, we definitely know that. Shit, I've been waiting for one of those poems it's been a minute.
You want another story, Boo?
Of course I do. I want all 371 stories. Yeah.
Okay,
I like how he said
thoughts
erect, like that's clever because, he's not, he just, sticks out his neck. What if I detect? It's just kind of very playful and fun and flirty and sexual upon me with intent. Like, he came to get some and she's on the same page, and that's always good when that works out. It's always good if they're willing to. But
no argument there.
Yeah, but even so, he still got the I love the way he presents the whole thing. Like, I love the way he decorates the page. It looks so cute with the roses, and he's got the picture down the bottom. Like, the whole thing's a presentation. He takes his time and his effort in everything he does. And our meal too late, then drink, and not sit down to write. Now let me think. ... What's going to happen next? A couple of drinks, a couple of food, a lot of flirting. It's a good time. So, sonnet. Oh, it's a sonnet. A different kind of sonnet. Oh, yeah. Anyway, yeah, this is good, interesting. I like to see his flirty side. Everybody thinks he's always so serious, but, hey, we all like to get some, don't we? So, good.
Yeah.
Right? Dave's like, yeah. Yeah, so no, this is good. Very classy. I'm skanking it up. I'm sorry, Titus. I love the poem.
You're just being honest, Boo.
It's, anyway, so now I finally got Pee-wee over here, and then Jenny's going to go. These must be two new people. That's good. I'm going to try to get them to call in one of these days. So if you want to get Pee-wee's, I got the SoundCloud ready.
Present day Phineas?
I think it's called Fine Us. That's what the SoundCloud said.
Find us?
Fine, Fine us. That's what it looks like. Unless I'm
Phineas. Present day Phineas.
Oh, that's what it says. Duh. Okay. Pee-wee. I probably spelled that wrong, so let me put it this way. You got it? Okay. Here we go.
I don't see the link.
Yes, sir.
Present day Phineas.
Oh, there we go.
Overwhelming, these thoughts untold, given of a God's frenetic and furious eye. Spectacle, being bound up to behold, as fickle-fingered fate denies desire. Angry skies crimson, rains on me blood, demons ruin me through darkest days. Nourishing crumbs, a life given freely of, given only so they get snatched away. Gifts possessed, all sacrificed for you, eyes smote away from my vision's gaze. Life bestowed you, daily I'm run through, my existence being chained and caged. Gifts in hand, bread inches from tongue, joy within my grasp, entered demon harpies, no announcement. My denouement come, my epitaph, no Phineas. In life, so sorry. Income.
Well, hello. I have
That's
to
a
admit, I
hot
was
one.
expecting that to be a female.
Right off Rebecca Press. What do you say to this, Rack?
I really enjoyed it.
Loving all this jazz.
The jazzy feel, the epitaph line. I mean, all of it put together. It packs a punch. It was a great job, Pee Wee. I'm glad you got that SoundCloud up there too, because it wouldn't have been the same without that music. Conjured up that feeling of the smoky bar.
Voice, he's just laid back,
it
like
reminded
kicking
me
it.
of something like 1940s, 1950s.
Yeah.
And you have M Squad. Right. Liquid, would you like to respond to
Yeah.
me?
Yes, I would. I like Pee Wee's work. It's very charming, and this as well with the music was an interlude, and it went together so well. But in this, I'm feeling kind of the feeling of futile, like at a loss. Life's just not living up to what his dreams were, and stuff is just falling apart. And the rhyme scheme in this is brilliant. I mean, it's really well done, and it flowed really well. And I think that the imagery in this, angry skies, crimson rains on me blood, demons ruining me through the darkest days, nourishing crumbs, a life given freely of, given only so they get snatched away. Just really great imagery. It's dark and it's there and it's like real, but I think he did an excellent job writing this. As usual, I mean, I'm just really starting to dig Pee Wee's work a lot. Good work, Pee Wee. Thank you for sharing this.
Yes, he's our maestro here in the conduction of orchestrated movements. And Dave, what do you say to this by Pee Wee?
Well, this was a really interesting poem. I liked it a lot. I liked the way it read and everything. I have to agree with Linda's synopsis of this poem and what she had to say about it. You know, it is dark, and it is almost, I don't know, hopeless sometimes. Just depends on how you look at it, I think. And I thought it was really, really well written. It showed a lot of thought. And, I just thought all I can say about it. I really enjoyed it. It was a good poem. It really was.
You never know what's going to happen next at a jazz club. Oh, hell might break loose over the...
What happens in the jazz clubs? Yeah.
You never get enough sax and violin.
Sax on the beach. Bound up and behold. This, I love the wording. I mean, the alliteration, the fickle-fingered fate denies desires. Rains on blood. Every time it says rains blood, I just think, oh shit. And he says, demons, freely if they get snatched away. Yeah, it's almost like all sack. Like he gave everything for this person, and he was behind like the, what's that called again? The smoke screen, sort of, and then waiting for him to give her to give him some type of validation, but he never got it. He says, gifts in hands, bread inches from tongue. Like she was like his Eucharistic supper, it seems like. And it never came. He's waiting. Look at the last two sentences. No announcement. I don't know how to say that word. It begins with a D, but I know Rack has a poem with that name too. But finally, he's the one Denoouement. Yeah, it never came.
Denouement.
Yeah. Denouement. It's a French word. It means the point where the story reveals itself.
Yeah, and now he
says,
yeah, so he's finally waiting, and it's just then finally he's sorry. But what's he sorry for? It doesn't seem like it's his fault. Like this is devastation, in my opinion, and brokenness. But I love the music too. And I'll be honest, I was thinking it was going to be a female. No offense, Pee Wee. But then I heard your voice, and I was like, whoa, hello. So yeah, really good job. Yeah, really kind of like a film noir vibe to it,
Well, it says right here in Jason and the Argonauts, Phineas was a great seer and king who had his eyes taken by the gods for his great visions he had given to man, doomed to be tortured to a tortured existence via the harpies, which wouldn't allow him to eat or drink of the feast continually placed in front of him, always snatched away as he was about to eat. I mean, how much more hopeless can you feel,
Yeah, and what a tease, right? You can have it. No, you can't. Yes, you can. You can't.
You could go to hell and never come back again. That's a little more hopeless.
Right. Or go to hell and come back.
At this point, he's willing to go to hell because he just fucking had it, But
or believe my opening monologue that the sun is going to consume itself whole and blow up from a black hole.
Yeah, I'd like to know if he wants to write it on the board, but that'd be interesting to find out because we're putting a million different texts in there. But yeah, good job. And Jenny, I don't see a SoundCloud. I just see your poem, so it's not attached there. I don't know if what you want to do about that. I'll wait to see if you write me back something. Okay, did you want to do, because he said, last comment made me realize, that's what it says, made me realize what I write it about. Great job.
Yeah, Are we going to move on to Jenny?
Yeah, I guess, I thought she said maybe possibly it's a SoundCloud, but it's not there. So we'll just read hers. I'll just read hers. Okay, sorry, Jenny.
In your message.
Put it up there, huh?
I misread the title, and I just saw strangulating on meth, but let's do the real version.
Oh, shit, is that what it's called? Oh.
Oh, hold on.
Let's see. I got it.
I repeated the link. All right.
Yeah,
Jenny is all the way at the bottom. Where
I got
did
it
Jenny
already,
go?
guys. Oh, you beat me.
You have the link?
Yeah, I got it right here. So anyway, good. He's good. He said that he agrees with our comments. So that's good. We were close. Good to know. Okay, here we go. Suffocating in your methods from Jenny Hunt. Okay. So, slipping into marbled madness, my deafening ears fall upon your shouts. Your method of belittling sends me descending into milky white sinking sand. Sinking deeper and deeper with each sting of your demeaning, belligerent, intrusive words, suffocating in agony, smothered in a sepia ombre, light brown, grainy pebbles. As soon as I'm out of oxygen, you play hero and take my hand, rescuing me from eternal damnation, holding it over my head with guilt trips. What makes you think this method works? Manipulation, gaslighting, and belittling, never satisfied at what you're given, in too much pain to enjoy my company, too much madness in your method. Back at it again, endless toxicity, breaking up to make up. You make no sense. I'm never going to be good enough, yet you won't let me go. I can't take your hand anymore. I won't. One more slip just to let me sink. I would rather suffocate in my tears than to let you fool me again. and poem.
Wow.
Yes.
Poetic.
This one, it's a doozy. I think it's a little bit on relationships that become completely obsessive. This is my own psychoanalytical view of the verses, in which you're not just existing for each other's needs. You're like another part of this person, and if one of you, even at the slightest instance, this is in either a girlfriend and boyfriend situation or a matrimony, has that thought of not being part of one and the same whole group of we, then there's friction and it becomes obsessive behavior. But that's my own take on Jenny's suffocating with the method. What do you think of this, David?
Oh, boy. Thank you for asking. I love these kind of people. They pull this shit on me a couple of times, and I give them both fucking barrels, boy. That's no bullshit either. Yeah, that's horseshit to treat another person that way. Playing with their feelings and, and confusing them. And it's just, it's selfish, and it shows a lack of intelligence. I don't... I've had a few ladies like this in my lifetime, and they lasted about 1 or 2 dates, and that was the end of that. So this is a playbook for eHarmony women, I think. But anyway, this is really interesting. She describes a lot of bullshit that I've heard from other ladies about how their men have treated them, and I used to do personal training with women, and I got to know them a little bit, and I like the way you gals think. It's fascinating. It's totally different than a man's viewpoint, and thank God. And this points out so many different things that I've noticed about men in general. And I'm not committing suicide on my own gender, but Jesus, it's you got to be a little bit better than that. That's not even, my dog doesn't even treat me that bad. He treats me pretty good, really. So anyway, this was really cool. I really enjoyed this. It was an excellent poem. Very well done.
Yeah, so you have your own quantum duplicity here in its form of atomic singularity. All right, and Rack, what about your take on Jenny?
Yeah, well, I'm going to say this poem speaks to me. I actually came up with a topic for my next show on Team of Voices, and it's this would have been perfect. It's souvenirs from your guilt trip. So when you have that idea of going on a trip and what you take away from that trip, the souvenirs you bring back, the things that you live with from it. This speaks to all those emotions, and it's not just the way you treated, but the way you tend to react afterwards too. It's almost like conditioning. It's really regrettable, and it's tough to live with and tough to deal with. And very emotional and hurtful. You've got the you hit the pin on the head very well. I really enjoyed it.
Mhm.
As long as the customer's pleased, 100% guaranteed back. Liquid.
Yeah. Jenny writes some real stuff, and I mean real. as plain as it can be. It's she writes from her heart with pure emotion, and this piece is so I don't know. It just speaks. I've been in relationships like this, and I'll tell you what. There's other than being hit, I mean, it's almost worse that having that vocal screaming and belittling and being told you're shit and you're nothing. That is almost worse than getting hit.
Agreed.
Yeah, and then the guilt part of it is even worse. I mean, I think that's just the epitome of cruelty, is to bring that guilt for you being the one that's been hurt, and now you have to feel guilty for it. That kills your heart. It makes your heart black. And
that's their MO.
Yeah, but and then she says the manipulation, gaslighting, and belittling. That, you know, being manipulated is always not fun, and to be like a little puppet on a string in a relationship is horrendous. But I think this poem was really strong, and it had really, really hard imagery there, and I think she did a fantastic job putting out her emotions in this. And Jenny, you're fabulous. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I have a friend over at Clubhouse, and recently they learned they're being cyberstalked, and you know that's just as bad as gaslighting. No one deserves to go through it, really. That what there is of the human rights in America is just reduced to nothing more but the ego plays of some kind of psychomaniac.
Hey Jenny, next time you want to go on, next time you want to go on a guilt trip, Jenny, talk to Dave about finding a better travel agent.
But stay away from eHarmony, whatever you do. I mean, this is just an asshole who basically pulls others down to bring himself up, and you know he knows that he's the fucking problem. That's why he's got to turn around on her, so she feels less of a person, less of a woman. But really, it's his ass that's the problem, and that's what they do to you. It's the emotional torture, you know, and it's abuse, and they get off on it, you know, because they don't like themselves, you know, you know. And then, you know, so many women, I'm not saying you, Jenny, because I don't know if it's personal or not, but so many women stick around waiting for him to change. And then, you know, 20 years goes by and he's still the same prick that he was before. So
he didn't.
My very eloquent description. And, you know, that's what they do. That's their game, you know. That's what they do. And it's a shame. But, I mean, shit, I've been gaslit before, too. Like, I actually to the point where I was like, wait a minute, was I there? You know, even though I knew I wasn't, but it was so convinced. I mean, you were such a, oh, maybe I wasn't there. Then you start thinking, I was screwed up. But yeah, I hope this isn't true, and I hope it is. I hope you broke up with his ass already, or something. You finally saw the light, because eventually you get sick of the shit sooner or later. And I love how they tell you you're the crazy one. Don't you love that? And you're like,
right, that's the one.
Yeah.
Thanks for
you're
that.
Like, wait, I thought I was. And you're like, maybe I am nuts, and then just that's the whole part of that whole game too.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's worse than when it's in your head, like. You know, you remember the Kool-Aid guy showing up in your room in the middle of the night saying, when are you going to get the Kool-Aid?
Yes, I do.
And then the next day it's like, no, that didn't really happen.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Did you bring tonight, Tubby?
I like Kool-Aid, man.
So do I. It's cheap and it's good.
So did David Koresh.
White trash. But you got to love it.
Rack.
Where else can you get 5 packets? What do you call them? Envelopes, sleeves, whatever they are. Oh, this shit for a nickel. Do you want to go, Razz, or do you want me to go? Wait, let me see if Francine, because Francine said she's going to call. Oh, shit, we got 2 people on the phone. Hello.
Who's there on the line?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Who's this? Francine?
Francine. Yeah.
Hey, Francine.
Franny. I missed you last night, Lenny.
I know. Friday
I'm
night.
sorry.
Yeah,
Friday
no, it's
night.
okay.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't worry.
Didn't make it. I'm sorry, but I'm here.
Hey, you gotta live a life.
You're here now.
I'm here now.
Are you 720, Francine?
Huh?
Or are you 917?
That's me.
917?
Yeah.
Who's 720? Somebody said 720. Hello.
Oh, I don't know who that is. That's not me,
I'll
though.
tell you. Hang on.
Interesting. Okay.
720 is Sweet. No, that can't be her.
It's Florida.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, maybe
I
it's
have one of those
Sweet Pea.
lists.
Oh, maybe.
Guys,
okay.
it's Sweet Pea.
It is Sweet Pea.
Then it went through the shredder
It's
because of the
Sweet
fire department.
It's Sweet Pea. Say hello to Sweet Pea. Hello. Hey, what's up?
Hello, Sweet Pea.
Hi, Sweet.
Hi,
We're
guys.
I used to
I'm
know
like,
a girl
hello.
named Susie.
She's like,
Nobody
hello.
can hear
Stop
me.
talking. Hey, nice to thanks for coming. Okay, so we'll do Francine and Sweet Pea then next, okay? So if you ladies, do you have to go, Sweet Pea, or can you wait for Francine, or you need to go first?
If Francine has to go, I can wait. If not,
I don't have to go anywhere. I'm fine.
Okay,
Awesome.
so you want to drop yours first, Sweet Pea?
Sure. It's going to go along very much with the last poem.
Oh, good.
That you guys had.
Right? Yes, good.
Yeah.
A lot of them out there, ain't there?
Yeah, there is. It's kind of weird for me, but I apologize that it just kind of goes right with that. So.
Why are you apologizing?
We got to warn people.
You know me. I like, don't want to keep the same subject going, but
I can't imagine someone doing that to people, kicking them in the balls.
Oh, well, it doesn't sound somebody doing it to me. It's just, one of those poems I wrote because of a lot of things I see, and it just is, it's one of those things. So here we go. I'm going to put it on the board now. And here we go. It is on your board. Hopefully everybody can see it.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
okay, I can't see it yet. Hang on.
Refresh real quick, Linda.
There we go. I got it.
Hey, where's my dear?
All right, and I think a couple of you guys might have already heard it, but here you go again.
This is great.
This is called Dying in His Lies. Swimming in the bile of his consciousness, he smiled. Fools followed the art of his entertainment. He, laughing all the while. Teardrop faucets spilled when confronted with his sins. Giggling at the masses, knowing he would win. Never tired of his game, he felt no inkling of shame, as he tortured his family in spite of their pain. Leaving scars in the wake of his arrogance, proud of the false stature he claimed in the arts of his appearances. He falsified gratitude to obtain the loyalty of his neophyte brigade, promises of flowers, diamonds, and his heart. He thought he had it made. Through the years, he never changed. Self-love stayed the same. Until the day he died alone, he reached out and called my name. I held his hand looking for a sign until he said his last goodbye. But no confession did he speak. Drowning in my forever love, I cried. I believed his every lie and poem.
Wow.
Definitely, this was amazing, Sweet Pea. And, when you're taken all the way there for that ride, you just one day learn the genius of this man. It's like Ben Affleck in Baby Gone. what can you do about it? You were lied to by the best, and it makes you just want to say motherfucker. All right, so Rack, what do you think of it?
Well, Sleepy knows that she's speaking to me when she talks about things like this. The idea of it, you're doing everything right. You want to question it, but you can't question it. You can't even say about believing his lies because that's the whole thing of it. If you care about someone and they give you a line of shit, you're not going to question it. You believe them because of who they are. Otherwise, you wouldn't be with them. You wouldn't. And when you find out about it at the very end, that's the heartbreaking part about it. It's like you poured yourself into it. You did the right thing. You believed them. You stood by them. You trusted them, and they took complete advantage of it. So it's not on you. It's on them. But at the same time, you're the one that walks away wounded. So yeah, this is so relatable. I really, when you speak of things like this, it's horrible to know that people go through it, but at the same time, it's like, I'm glad that you see through it at the end. Some people, they could just cast that vision and that expression. You've got everybody fooled. To say that to someone in their lifetime is hurtful if it's wrong. But when you hit that on with something like that, it's like, I see you. And I'm not going to let you hurt me anymore. But it's almost impossible to be that way because like the X-Files used to say, I want to believe, and that's what they prey on. That's what feeds them. It's like they know no matter how unlikely, no matter how unbelievable, no matter how far, you still trust them. You still want to believe them, as far-fetched and as yeah. I relate to you.
No, I can. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So convincing too. That's the other thing.
Well, that's the point. It doesn't have to be convincing. They're taking advantage of her relationship and her belief. They're taking advantage of the fact that you care about someone enough to let them give you that line of shit and not question it.
Yeah, you won't even doubt it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And all your friends around you look at you and say, "And you believed him?" And you look at them
right.
like, well, of course
they're like,
I
"What
did."
the hell's wrong with you?
Right. It's like, why is that even a question? Of course I believe them. That I'm with that person. I've got his back. That's what it means to stand by your person, by your partner. That's what it means to be like that. You commit to that relationship. You commit to the bullshit, and they're your other half, or they're representing you. So they're dragging you down with them when they do that crap.
Yeah, you go, boy. Rack's a big pit. What did you think, Dave?
Oh, yeah, this is really cool. I have to agree with some things that have already been said about this. If you let it get, if you let these people get away with shit, it makes it easier for them to do it the next time, and it also reinforces their belief that you're gonna allow them to get away with it, because no matter what they do, or what you do to them, they're not gonna, it's not gonna come back on you because you're allowing it to happen, and that is getting out of a situation like this is probably about as tough as quitting cigarettes. I think. I don't know. It's like they say that you can't not believe them because you love them, and that's a really hard thing to get your mind around. And I think Pam addressed this really well in this poem, very well. So,
and if you do get out,
nice
you feel like
job.
the world's just cool. Like, why didn't I see this shit? Everybody else did but me. Now it's like a dumbass. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. Well, that's the other part of it. A lot of times people are afraid to admit that somebody made a fool out of them. And so they just, kind of want to sweep that part of it under the rug and just, try to make out like everything's everything, and it ain't, but I don't know.
Hey, Dave.
I don't know why the hell people have to be such
Dave, you
assholes.
want to know why?
Yeah.
Revenge. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
Thanks, Dave.
I didn't hear you.
Francine, what do you think?
Oh, I love it. I could say I relate to these poems very well. And I think that I love the way she writes. Swimming in the bile of his consciousness and teardrop faucet spilled. I love the expression. It's really wonderful. But the story about being lied to, well, love is blind. You don't see the faults in the person that you're with until it's too late, or until time has passed and you get hit in the head by something they did. Most of the time you don't see it right away. Sometimes you don't see it at all. That's why they say love is blind, because when you're all messed up, you're all messed up.
Sometimes you look at it square in the face and deny it exists.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So they're in your bed at your house.
Exactly. So I think that the poem was very, very, very good. It made its point very clearly. I loved the last line. I believe there's every lie. That's somebody that really was in love with the person and didn't want to hear anything about it. So I could relate to that. And I think it was written very well. I liked the expressions in it. Very well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Linda.
Yeah, it's just so much better the second time around, sweet. Some guys, I swear to God, must go to the University of Lies and Deceit because they are so good at it that there's no way you don't believe them. And this was a guy that obviously went to that university and got good grades and used and abused. But, I think Rack said it all, but the thing is the shame that we feel when we realize that everybody that's been around us telling us that he's a liar and what are you doing, and we cut loose ties with friends because of it. And then we have to feel that shame when we realize that they were right. And there's nothing we can do about it. But what I liked about this was in the end, he was just as alone and afraid as everybody else. So no matter what he did through his life, he didn't get away from being alone and afraid when he died. And that's what I liked about this poem. But sweet, it really good. The rhyme is just perfect, and the cadence is perfect, and you did a really great job. Thank you for sharing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much, Linda.
Well, you're welcome.
Did I get everybody? Did you? So then that leaves me, I guess. Well, yeah, I actually went through this one time, and like we were talking about before, you actually do think you're crazy. And these people are like professionals, you know what I mean? They got a lot of practice. They've been doing it for a long time. Having you think shit's not, if you can make someone think shit that ain't real, you're pretty good. You're pretty smooth, And I'm glad that you talked about it. Thank God that Jenny says she's happily married now. She kicked his ass to the curb. But I always like your writing because you're not afraid to write about things. You're not afraid to express your voice. You are who you are. You're a strong woman, which I always love. And I can't imagine you putting up with this stuff. But, hey, it's with them, and I know it's not about you. But, yeah, I love the wording. I love the choices. And it's to the point, blatant. And, each could be read many times and you still get something different out of it. So that's the kind of stuff I like to read. So I loved your poem and you.
Oh, thank you, Boo. I appreciate it so much.
Did you want to mention any of your shows or anything? why you're here?
I've actually taken the month of March off. I've had some personal things going on, so I'm not doing a show this month. I'll let you know next month when I start again.
Okay, sounds good. God forbid you take any time off, huh? Shoot. I asked my boss for time. He was like, "What? Where are you going?" I'm like, "None of your business." You know. Thank you, my dear. You got to take a read break. Did you want to read yours since it's getting late, or you want to read Silky's first? Or Razz, where'd you go? Okay. Hey, would you mind reading Silky's? Okay. Or do you got to go?
Are you talking to me or Razz?
Talking to you. I don't know where Razz went.
I would love to read Silk. Yeah, that'd be great.
Sorry, Francine. No, we got to do. I forgot. We might have to carry some over because we're behind from the last time, so we have to carry them. But I'd rather Silky read it actually. But he said he's having a hard time with his phone. So Francine, you go first.
Okay, my dear. I just put it on the board.
Girl. All right. Ready.
In the silence of the heart. God speaks all the time, and the chirping of the bluebirds, and the buzzing of the bees, and the whipping winds of winter, and spring's gentle breeze, and the ripple of the mountain brook, the roar of the ocean waves, and the quiet of a tranquil sea, and the moon's cooling haze, and the stars as they twinkle above, and the little animals as they play, chipmunks, squirrels, even skunks, as they scamper on their way. In the stillness of the night, we're sitting quietly by the bay, watching ducks and swans swim by while fish below the surface sway. I listened when in a crowd, expecting the voice to be loud. Then I learned I hear him in the quiet, his voice a whisper, not a shout. When I'm alone and sitting apart, I hear him most gently light a spark. His grace and wisdom he does impart as he speaks softly in the silence of my heart.
Wow.
Oh, that's cute.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. Go ahead, Linda.
Yeah, this just, I love the whole idea here, Francine. God does speak to us if we listen all the time, but that's the point, is we have to stop and listen. And a lot of people are too busy to do that. You know, they say stop and smell the roses. Well, how many people actually do? And so your poem is kind of telling us exactly that. Stop and smell the roses. Look at the stars. Look how they twinkle. Look at the chipmunks, you know. I love this poem. The imagery in it is so full of nature and loving and sweetness, you know, and your writing is becoming, I don't know when you wrote this. Did you write this recently?
This is a recent one, yeah.
Yeah, your writing's becoming more full and I mean, the rhyme in this is great, and the flow is wonderful. So I think your writing is evolving every time I hear you. So this was really well written, Francine. Thank you for sharing it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Honor.
There you go. There you are, Razz.
Silent beating of the heart. Yeah. What I was saying, I was on mute. That I'm going to read Marsh's, and we have to finish up with the details here. I'm going to skip my poem, Elevated.
We're never going to make all.
But
anyway.
Let me comment on Francine.
But we still have
what
another
there is
hour.
to that silence of the heart, that's everything you know to be true, that it would just break too many people's feelings. It would cause so many legal entanglements that the heart has no choice because it feels so much for other people to stay quiet is what I hear in the verse.
Yeah, no, Francine, we've been here since 6. Well, my time anyway. But, yeah, we might have to carry a few over, no biggie. I think if Sweet Pea's still here, if she wanted to comment before she goes.
Yeah, this is beautiful. I love the tribute. It really does almost kind of ebb and flow like a prayer. And I love that, when you speak to God in your spiritual stance, that you can hear him whisper, and all the ways of nature, that you can hear a bee even sing its song to a flower, or, dragonflies flap their wings, and all of that if we would just sit still and listen. And I think a lot of that doesn't happen. I think sometimes if the whole world would just take a minute and take a breath and sit still, we'd probably be able to solve a lot more problems than we do with the way we behave most of the time. I think it's a great write. It's got lovely imagery in it, and it really packs a punch with what needs to be done to even soothe the roughest souls.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
Unification.
Yeah.
Linda, I think you already commented. Never, sorry. I mean,
yeah.
Dave.
Dave?
Well, thank you. I agree with this so much, because I really get really tired of hearing this bullshit about, I'm so busy. I just haven't got time. I'm so busy I can't return your phone calls. I'm so busy. That's bullshit. That's bullshit with a capital B and a capital S. You've got to slow down, put yourself in neutral, and listen to God, because he is out there. That poem that I wrote about the mountain, that's just me, but I go in the woods and I can hear God in the woods, in the trees. When the wind blows through the trees, I can hear this whooshing sound and stuff, and you can smell the dried fir needles and stuff in there. And being with my dog and tearing around in there, it's really fun. And there is a lot to think about in there. And the American Indians were really big fans of this sort of stuff. They didn't like it when white men came in there and made all kinds of noise, and they couldn't walk down a trail without sounding like a whole army, and that kind of stuff. And
right.
I think this poem addresses the story to just sit down and be quiet, shut your mouth, and listen to what's going on around you and watch nature. I get a chance to do that every day in my house. I was just watching some squirrels and chickadees and stuff tearing around outside today, and some crows and whatnot. And it's really pleasing. And these people that are so busy that they can't stand to do this, well, I feel sorry for them, because they're missing out on a whole part of the world that they shouldn't be. So anyway, I really liked your poem, Francine. It's really well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and it only takes a second to listen to God. It's not like you have to lay back for an hour and meditate. You can. It's helpful, but it only takes a second to stop and look at something pretty and see God in it. So that what David said about not having time, that is bullshit.
Mm-hmm. It takes longer, though, in meditation, because that's when you're seeking transcendence through, like, Hinduism or Buddhism. And so the whole focus is in God in order to understand there's a higher reality, on the technical notes there of different forms of religious worship and practice.
Exactly. I think Rack needs to comment.
Oh, I need to, huh? I enjoy this, Francine. It speaks to the spirituality. Your spirituality, It's one of those things. It's all around you if you care to pay attention and just not let it take it for granted.
Right.
People, it speaks to your point of view and your interpretation of things. Not everyone will see it or not everyone will hear it, and you have to kind of be quiet and pay attention. Otherwise, you're just going to miss it.
That's true.
Francine, do you take the time to do this?
Yes, I do. I actually love walking in nature. So
yeah.
If I can be like in the woods somewhere and walking around and just looking at everything, I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Yes, you just share.
I see God every time I look out my windows at the glacier in front of my house. It's 2 glaciers right in front of my windows that just, if you don't see God in a glacier, then there's something truly wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of that mentality. It's like being at the North and South Pole and then, what? All right, Boo. So, are you going to have...
3 people on the board to ask when someone says they don't have time. Ask them how to share with you how they're spending their time. That's funny.
Let's go on a nature walk, Boo.
Lots of time.
Yeah, that's a
time
good
boss.
tip.
More extraterrestrial being references. All right, go on messing with my head, Boo.
Yeah, go ahead. We want to read yours and then mine, and then we have to go. We can carry the rest over because I gotta.
Yeah, so you do yours, and then I'll see my acknowledgement. You have to play out.
No, you do yours, and then I'll do mine because I'm doing something.
But do you have the play out?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. No, I'm going to do a mosh pit because we haven't heard from this poet in a while on the blog. So, like I would say, I was going to skip my term. This is mosh pit poetry. Silent screams freestyle. Dreams plan. Silent screams. I'm not healing you. I'm dealing with violent dreams. At night it seems it's the time the demons inside of me decide to beef. They wake me up. They don't let me sleep. I don't make it up, but it's make-believe. I'm waking up stressed, wanting rest. I'm looking for peace. Sleep used to be a relief. At least I didn't feel as weak. Now it's somewhere I can't compete. I share, but I can't complete. The obscene scenes I see in these deep nightmares, they just ain't dreams. My imagination used to be fruit on trees. I dreamed about the future and what I can achieve. I got to speak to all those that had to leave. I'm asking how do I relax and grieve. The night's taxing has got me asking me why I'm lacking peace. I'm asking, please give me back my dreams. Give me the confidence back that I've lacked in me that once got me through life's action scenes. I'm feeling at least half decreased. Please get me back to me and peace.
Wow.
Wow, switch to decaf, Raz. Just kidding.
Yeah, no. I would switch to decaf and go on with the speed.
Just messing with you.
Kidding.
Where'd you see this poem? On the board either, am I?
Someone who's essentially asking help from social and economic and psychological pressures, and this is the whole breakdown that you want pity from a pretty much heartless world to just stop being completely antisocial and hostile, and so that's really the heroic stance within this, either from a poet or a rapper, that you're confronting what's essentially more corrupted than any other form of system, and telling it that we all really require at least sleep at night. We don't have to be waking in fear that all of these unimaginable threats are real.
Okay, aren't you going to ask?
Yeah, so Liquid, what about you?
Yeah, well, it's, sleep is such an important thing, and when people are so stressed out that it comes out in their sleep in their dreams and they're dreaming stress, that's a terrible thing, because when you don't get rest, you can't function. And when you can't function, your life goes to shit, and that brings on more stress. So, and I see in this somebody who's, got a lot of stress and is stuck in their sleep is nightmares, and I, being somebody who suffers from nightmares on almost a nightly basis, can know how frightening and stressful and how they disturb your sleep, and some of them are paralyzingly bad, and so your stress just surmounts, more and more and more, and you're useless. And my husband just was talking, I couldn't hear what he was saying, but when she says, now I'm asking, how do I relax and grieve? The night's taxing. It's got me asking me why I'm lacking peace. I'm asking, please, and that's how you get is to the point of you're begging for somebody to help you get out of the stress and the I'm losing my thought.
Because it affects your health. It does. Every part of your health when you're...
Yeah, exactly. It makes... It can start out with certain small things and then build and build and build until you've got a tumor somewhere in your body because of it. You just have to... You have to find a way to release the stress, especially before you go to sleep at night, because it'll make you physically ill. And that's what I see in this piece.
Yeah, true. So, Francine, what do you think?
I think that it's rough when you can't sleep. And, reading what he wrote, he's saying that it used to make him feel good to sleep, and now it's stressful, and he wants to rest. He's looking for peace, but he can't find it. It makes you feel weak. I went through a period where I couldn't sleep at all. It was driving me crazy. I had to go to a doctor to find out what's wrong. So it really does make you nuts if you can't sleep. And I'm nuts to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
I know all about that, Francine. I went through years of less than 2.5 days of sleep.
He hasn't slept in years.
I believe it.
Wow. Yeah, sleep is so important that we don't even think about it. You lay down at night, you go sleep, get up in the morning. What's the biggie?
Right.
But it's so important to get good sleep, and like I'm just the opposite of Razz. I sleep all the time, and that makes me insane. That way. So that's how important getting the right amount of sleep is. Not to oversleep, not to undersleep.
Right. I agree.
It's
I know that too.
basic of our survival and psychology. Yeah.
That's why they say get 8 hours of sleep every night. They're not shitting. They don't mean 9. They don't mean 7. They mean 8 hours of sleep.
It's true.
Do we still
what
have
about
Dave
you, Dave?
there?
Think of this back to sleep. What did you mention? Did you comment already?
I didn't. I was away from my desk when Razz was reading this, and I didn't see it on the board. So, but judging from what people are talking about on this poem, a lot of times I think we get so wound up over, especially if we can't sleep. I think we get so wound up over it that when we go to bed, that just triggers more stress, which in turn leads to another sleepless night, and it's sort of a degenerative wheel there or cycle, and we have to find a way of getting out of that. It's just human beings are really complex creatures, and that's the reason that we are the way we are. With sleep problems and stuff, is because we are pretty intelligent, most of us, and although some of the shitheads, I don't think they pour piss out of a boot, but still, we are that way. We're hardwired that way anyway, and so we need to, just find some solution to getting around it without chemical means. I know sometimes that when I can't sleep, I get up and smoke a joint. That straightens me out pretty good most of the time.
That works for me.
But yeah, and if it doesn't, all it does is just make me horny. So what the hell, But that's always fun too. That's a good way to relax.
Yeah, there you go. It's just an herb.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing. If your spouse can't get to sleep at night, be a nice guy and kiss her and play around with her a little bit, instead of just saying, see you later, bye. You
don't keep your man happy, someone else will, ladies, don't forget. So.
Yeah, I won't stay completely black, half pale.
I agree with all that. It does help you sleep. I agree. Anyway, never mind. I was gonna put my board. Someone's about to die. I don't know if I'm gonna make it or not, actually, Raz, but I'll try. And
yeah, if I smoke a joint, I'd go into a coma.
Yeah, and it never gets up. And
I'd never wake up.
Some of you may be slightly offended by this, but don't worry. Okay, so I'll put it up there. Okay, so I'll just read it. So anyway, it goes like this. I forgot to put the one line in the front. Anyway, the line in the front is supposed to go, "Forgive them, Father, for they have sinned. To the boys who stole my innocence on Facebook-funded mission trips, a worship leader in the church that guitarist's fingers strummed me first. And not even like it till his third or fourth try, but you know what? It's cool. I hear he's actually a really great guy. I only resisted 2 or 3 times, said men are too visuals, can't interpret the signs. Besides, he's God's chosen, a man set his time. I say, if all men anointed, very few will rise. No hymns for worship the church boy's lips sang of me. Instead of the gospel, he was spreading my knees. Lies like ether, no sweeter wool for my eyes. Vile-toothed and guile, shameless in his guise. He said Jesus saved him, but who was there to save me? Perdition for the seductress they call PTSD. And when his lips brush heaven, God will taste me. My trauma at least will have immortality." End poem.
Wow.
That's heavy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, it's just a prompt.
A prompt?
Yeah, someone in the religious community, what they were doing. What do you consider like a really bad sin, basically? So that's where I went. So what do you think, Raz?
So I looked up the statistic for you, and it says here the Catholic Church sexual abuse cases are 216,000 children that were abused by priests between 1950 and 2020.
Sickening.
And so, that's reported, 216,000.
Yeah.
And when you have that kind of problem within, administrators of the ministry of the church, it's definitely a controversial point that we don't understand how these men who have dedicated their lives to higher law could actually commit such indevious sin
towards the young. I think that issue was properly raised within the piece. Thank you, Boo. Rack, what do you think of this?
Boo writes from the heart, and it sounds like an experience that she's either been close to or, has insight into. It's a very believable story, and it's emotional. It tugs on all the guitar string.
Thanks, Rack.
Bass on the wah-wah pedal. What about you, Liquid?
Yeah, this is a sad story, and what's really sad is those priests that do that to children have set people away from God. And that's sad, because it's just because they are idiots and don't know how to keep it in their pants. A lot of people suffer from it, and people are hurt, and the damage that goes on even after a generation. These kids grow up and they're so distraught, some of them, that it runs over when they have children. They're either abusive or not abusive or whatever, but it does seem to tend to follow generation, the generational thing. But this is a beautiful poem, Boo. It's just so well put together. I'm really impressed by this. Your poetry has come just coming leaps and bounds. Every time I hear something you've written, I'm very inspired and impressed. So thank you for sharing this.
Oh, thanks, Linda. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Francine, are you still there, or Sweet Pea?
Yeah, I'm here. I thought it was a wonderful poem. Very sad subject, but the poem itself was beautifully written. And good job, Boo.
Thank
really,
you, Francine.
A lot of in it and a lot of feeling in it. And the fact that 260,000 was just one generation. So, this has been going on for years and years and years. So imagine how many millions of people were probably affected by child, what do you call it?
Pedophile. Because it is a pedophile.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But it is sad. It is a sad thing when it's somebody related to the church, because it just takes the church out of the person. Like Linda said, it makes them think that the church is terrible, so I won't go there anymore. And
it leaves a negative effect on those who would rather believe.
Exactly. And if this is what is about God, then I don't want to know anything about God. And, it has terrible ramifications. And I think that the child, when they get older, they really can't have a happy life unless they resolve all this.
Mm-hmm.
There's
a lot of therapy usually.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Or at least some. To know that it wasn't their fault and the person was sick that did this and whatever. But your poem itself was beautiful. I really enjoyed it very much. A very heavy poem. A very good one. Yeah.
It leaves us with Dave Prophet and then close curtain.
Okay. Well, I love this poem, though. I had forgotten how good your poetry has become, and this was really outstanding. I agree with what Linda had to say about this kind of monkey business going on in the church. I think it's one of the most severe sins that a member of the church can commit, because it does turn people away from any sort of organized religion, and to some extent it might turn them away from all religions, forever. And I can't imagine that God would be, very, very lenient with one of his, one of his members of the church to do that sort of thing. And I know it's been really, really common. It's reported in the news. It has been reported in the news a lot. And I was shocked when I heard about it. But I don't know. It wasn't to the point of, making me want to just drop the religion altogether. I just never thought about it that way. I've always believed in God, but it sort of makes me wonder, and it has to be pretty devastating to a young man or woman when that happens to them, because they're still in the process of trying to figure all that out. And then now here comes a baseball in from left field, and they're trying to deal with that at the same time. And I don't know. I think this was a really, really timely piece. I think he did a hell of a job on it, and it was really nice to hear your poetry again, Boo.
Oh, thanks, Dave. Appreciate it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, everybody. Okay, Raz.
All right. Let me give my acknowledgements real quick, and then you can play the outro music. Thank you all for coming. Motion picture available to Global Digital Marketing on provided still life photography, David Prophet, Raconteur, Rich Quintero at Media Lab, Guarding the Lights, Mrslilboo, Anonymous, not the poet heard on the blog, but the next new Crimson King of France, Poshmosh, 101 Step Direction, Krishna for Thinking of the Little Fishies, 500 Megatons, Kilometers, Harlequin Jones, Argus, and everyone who served in the South China Sea Fleet, Liquid Damage, Jenny Hunt, Pee Wee, Al Roche from 88, and the Lud versus the Matrix Machines, Holton looking for a new liquor license at Hilton, Titus Ewan, 68 and 69, the fake McCoy, who was really MGM's Kelly, 2021 and 2022 QB Paul Norton over at Smart Tech, Beautiful Blade Mars, Riley Williams deciding to plead guilty, DGTS Sound Systems, Investment Private Inc., Lauren 67, Sweet Pea, Andorra, and Panda Express bringing the best in fried rice, as well as Francine. Thank you all for being part of Public Poetry. Good night.
Thanks, Raz.
Good night, Raz.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good
night, everybody.
Good night, Boo.
Love
Good night,
you.
guys. Love you all.